The What It Takes Radio Company presents once again from the Transformation Zone, the Transformation Project, and we are involved right now in helping you become one of the most focused persons around. So, part 3, you took the challenge to be one of the 3% of the population who can do what it takes. Well, here are the rest of the 20 questions that can help you do just that. Greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Transformation Zone. And in the zone, we have the Transformation Project. And what we're about is trying to help you become maybe a transformed person so that you can lead and guide, maybe even help other people in their business and organizational and community transformations. Perhaps you can be the kind of person who is an example of how a life well lived with intention, with integrity, and with innovation. You can be truly not only a thought leader, but a real leader in the endeavors that we have to not just change things a little bit, but perhaps to help people make significant changes in their life and business. Yet they are not only different by degree, maybe they're even different in kind. That's what we're all about. And what we've been doing is that I have said and proclaimed as a result of many years of business performance coaching that to be that kind of person would help to be one of the 3% who people, they're different. They know who they are. They know what they want. They're working a plan. They have a strong intention, strong desires. They're different. They're different in how they live and how they perform and how they work. Only 3% of the population lives with that kind of both intensity, integrity, innovation, and just the resilience to keep pressing on. And I said that if you had 20 questions, and I developed these, that if you really knew the answer to these 20 questions, you would be truly one of the most focused persons on planet Earth. We talk about focus, one thing, or the importance of priority, having the list. If you can answer these 20 questions or are in the process of answering them, you are a focused person, and hopefully we can help you do just that. Now, we've done in our first 2 episodes, welcome to episode 3, we've done the first part, and today we're going to finish up with the 7 questions of the 20, which will help you come to that point of having done the 20 questions and being able to do that on a regular basis. So you can go back in episode 1, the first 7, episode 2, the next 6, and now we are going to conclude with the final 7. So here we go, and thank you for your time and attention. All right, here we go. Who are the 3 people you admire most? That's right. Now, don't give me the Jesus or the obvious things like that. I mean, people that you may know or you may know of, or perhaps in your studies of life and history, you are aware of. 3 people you admire the most. Now, there may be many in your life. I hope so. I have many. Who are the 3 people you really admire most? And why do you admire them? What about them makes them admirable? That you would even share that with other people, but they're kind of guidepost people in your life. Why? Now, what does that mean to you? What are you doing with that understanding? I've oftentimes said about one of the men, I wonder what he would do. My wife has a little sign in her room that says, we wish heaven had visiting hours. And that's absolutely true. I'd like to be able to talk to some of these people, could you help me? There are people like that. Who are the 3 people you admire most? And why? What does that mean to you? And what are you going to do with this understanding going forward? Now, we talked about, what makes you valuable. Where where do you see yourself in 10 years? Now, when people talk about a 3-year or 5-year plan, we all kind of smile because, yeah, we can do that kind of forecasting, that kind of strategic planning, but things change way too fast. For a company to have a 5-year plan right now is perhaps uh, an expedition into eccentricity rather than ecstasy. But how do you know, now in 10 years, I don't even know if I'll be around. It perhaps will not be. But what about you? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where would you like to be? Where do you think you're going to be? And how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? You know, if you could get an extra 10 years, where do you want to be? Now, one of my good doctor friends said, Stan, I enjoy being a doctor, but I have to be very, very honest. About 80% of my stuff now is kind of boring. Been there, done that. We'll do it again. But of course, it's the 20% that is new and refresh, and that's what I really enjoy. He says so. About 20% of the things I enjoy in my work, and the rest is routine or just part of the deal. Well, let's talk about that. What brings you 80% of your pleasure, joy, and fun? Pleasure, joy, and fun. What are those things that, yeah, this is really something that gives me pleasure? When I run, I feel God's pleasure, Eric Liddell said. What do you do when you feel God's pleasure? What makes you even more than happy, gives you a sense of joy? And you can even say, it's fun. It's fun. Even if I didn't get funds for it, I will do it because it's fun. Now, how do you plan to be more aware and active and engaged in those things that are pleasure, joy, and fun? And what I will tell you is that as you get older, you will discover that the more you actually help and serve and connect with others, you will find pleasure, joy, and fun. One of the nice things about growing old, if we do it right, is we gain a little deeper sense of humility and a greater sense of what is truly important in life. And so the things that were pleasurable, joyful, and fun, we thought when we were young, maybe we can't do them anymore, but what are they right now? And how do you plan to be more engaged in those things going forward? What is the key to understanding the real you? Now, this is a tough question, particularly for those of us older men. Most of us have had to play roles where we had to play roles rather than be real. We had to be a husband. We had to be a father. We had to be a provider. We had to be a worker. We had to be a leader. There were things that we had to do. And they may not be the things we really love to do, but we had to do them, and we had to become some of those things. But what is the real you? That most people don't know or miss or you haven't shown. What would be the key to understanding the real you that most people miss, that perhaps you can now show a little bit more of the real you and less of the role you that people miss? Now, I have a good friend, and he's a tough guy. He really is. He's tough. He's handled lots of tough stuff and survived. I even sometimes call him a cat. He's gone through 9 lives. As he said, I should be dead by now. But he's a tough guy. And he has a tough appearance. He can put that on. He's known for it. They don't mess with him. But even though he comes across as a bit of a bear, he's really, really kind of a teddy bear inside. My dear wife knows him, and she knows how real he is, and he enjoys her because he can be real, and she appreciates his reality. And more, he's beginning to be a little bit more comfortable with that. What do you do very well? I mean, you're really good at it. You know, now you may not be a scratch golfer. Most golfers aren't, but you might be pretty good. But what do you do very well? And how could that wellness be actually helpful to some other people? The thing that you do very well, that might be very, very helpful to a lot of people who would like to learn how to do that very well too. Um, how often do you do the things that you do really well? And of course, the reason many people are very successful is that they have put themselves in lives and businesses where that's all they do. All they have to do is what they do well and what they like to do and what gives them joy and fun and pleasure. You know, those kind of people have it made. They've found the sweet spot of life. What do you do very well, and how often do you get to do just that? Please think about that. Where is your deep gladness in life? Yeah, use that word. What makes you glad, deeply glad? Now, one of my mentor friends, never met him, but I heard him speak, Frederick Buechner, who passed away recently, has said that in effect, what we all should seek is not a recreation or an occupation, not a recreation or occupation. We need to seek a vocation, something that is very, very much ours. And he said, oftentimes that's where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. What a great definition of life to be, and perhaps of how to market you. That means that your deep gladness will help fulfill a deep hunger. What you do that makes you glad, other people would very much want to have. Where is your deep gladness in life? Eric Liddell, the famous runner, said, in effect, when I run, I feel God's pleasure. It makes me glad inside. So there we go. 3 people you admire the most. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? What brings you 80% of your pleasure, joy, and fun? What about the real you? What do you do very well? Where is your deep gladness in life? And then make it real specific. All of this has been broad stuff. Question number 20 is the one you should ask all the time, like right now. How do you want your life to be different in 6 months? Key question all the time. Here I am, September 6th. Where do I want to be different come March of 25? Just to be able to put it in a 6-month frame that I will be different. My life will be different in 6 months. It may be in a small way. It may be in a significant way. But and we don't know what the future holds by far. It could be great ecstasy. It could be a great triumph. It could be a great agony and tragedy. But how do you want your life to be different 6 months from now? That's the deal. Those are 20 questions. By the way, if you'd like a copy of them, just reach out to me, stanhusted@gmail.com, stanhusted@gmail.com. You'll see that on the going out, and ask for the 20 questions. And very simple. It's a 2-page deal, PDF, and I'll send you the 20 questions. And you can start teaching this same thing to others. You can do what I did. You can teach other people how to become some of the most focused people on planet Earth. And they might even pay you to help them do that. Wouldn't that be nice? Helping people do what they love and helping you do what you love. And you make some money doing it. That is a sweet spot. And if it pleases God and pleases others, it's even better. All of this is encompassed in having a focus and a deep appreciation of having the Spirit force in your life. one thing, focus, spirit force in your life. And that's when good things, maybe great things, maybe transforming things, maybe awesome things begin to happen. Again, I'd be glad to help you, your organization, experience that kind of deep gladness. All the best and blessings, and thank you for being a part of this. And we'll see you again in the Transformation Zone. And bye for now.